right, the next technique is called capturing the rod. Now this is the first gun technique we're going to start with. Now with the help of Rick, I'm going to be facing my opponent. Now gun techniques are fine providing you're close enough to apply the technique. Either you're close enough to apply it or you're far enough that maybe you can run away, but don't be caught in between. Best thing to do in a gun situation, if your instincts tell you that he's going to fire, then make the move. But if your instincts tell you they're not, this is something you have to weigh. There's no guarantees in it. If you do decide to move, make sure it's a committed move and go all the way with it. Don't do this halfway. All right, now working with a gun, I don't want you to work with a real gun. I want you to work with something plastic or something like this. It's not necessary to work with a real gun. All right, now what we're going to do, this is called capturing the rod. We're going to step in with the right leg into a right neutral bow. And as I step in, I'm going to do a left outward parry against the barrel of the gun. I want it against the barrel. I don't want it against the wrist in case he turns it back in towards me. So we're going to come straight up the center line. We're going to do an outward parry. At the same time, I'm going to grab the hammer or the chamber, depending on what type of pistol it is. And as I grab, I don't want to make a big circle, but I want to make a small circle along my chest, my ribs and my chest to grab on and stop that gun from firing. As I do this, I step at the same time into a neutral bow. I go to a right forward bow and thrust a finger poke to the eye. At this, we should get a reaction out of him with both hands. Both hands will come up to protect the eye. As that happens, you're going to come back and grab the wrist. Take advantage of that. You're going to pull back a little bit, and since his index finger is inside the trigger guard, you're going to snap the finger at this point. All right, watch again. I parry and grab, poke to the eye, break. Now I'm going to step back with my right leg to a left neutral bow, and I'm going to bring his head down as I hit him with the butt of the gun this way. Then I'm going to kick him in the groin with the right kick and come up diagonally, hitting him this way. Then I'm going to rotate it and come back down again the other side, and then back over the head as I step out. Okay, now at this point, I'm going to put my left hand underneath the gun and squeeze it with both hands, and I'll show you why. Now if your opponent came up off the ground and you had one hand on the pistol, okay, if you're thinking that you've got it under control and you didn't have a check down there and he managed to come up with a kick or a grab, now you're fighting back for the pistol. All right, now what I want you to do is when we're working these gun techniques is to remember that as you cross out, you put the opposite hand underneath. Don't go in front of the barrel. Put it underneath, hold on with both hands until you cross out. Now at this point, you begin your cross out, and when you're far enough away from your opponent, then you can switch, grab the gun and with the right hand, but again, keep a check down below in case something comes up from behind. Now, if Rick's down on the ground again, and I just finished hitting him, and I step out, but he starts to get up, and he starts to grab for it, at least I have both hands on it. I could pull the gun away from him if he grabs it, hold on to him, I could kick, but I'm not leaving that gun open for another grab. If he comes up with a kick or whatever, I can cross out, still keep control of it. Now when I'm far enough away, I can go ahead and put a hand below for a check and keep my eyes on him. Good. Thank you, Rick.